Tony D and Little Joan somewhere in the background, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Three-Way Polly, a movie about a three-way relationship that ends in murder. And we're going to talk about it. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 17, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. All right, so this is a low-budget affair, so I try to be more constructive on these kinds of things. But look, I can't just say it's good when there are problems that I see. So first off, I like the premise. It's a three-way relationship that goes bad because I would say you're not in a relationship if you're in a three-way relationship. So I'm not surprised it went bad. You know, it doesn't always lead to murder, but it's kind of a good premise for a movie. So the premise is, near as I could tell from the trailer, the man and woman on the right end up introducing this girl into their relationship. She starts living with them. They start having tons of sex, but of course then things start to get weird. The girl tries to have sex with the man when the wife's not home. Then racy scene. The woman does have sex with her when the man is at home, and she tells the girl not to tell him, and could be some conflicts there. It looks like the wife gets very angry and jealous and possibly kills him. I don't know. There's a scene with a knife. They're trying to do a lot with a little. And again, I do like the premise. So they've got some, this is a good shot. This is kind of classic, right? This is sort of the psycho shot of blood going down the drain, washing it off. But I think there are a few problems. So first off, it starts with a police investigation on the trailer. And the shot is a little empty. The sound feels empty. They're talking about a murder. You're not seeing the bodies on the other side of the screen. It feels very low budget. The shot is awkward. I think it's a little too low. Not sure why they're shooting it at such a low angle. Then you got the flashback scene. You can see something on the woman's leg. I'm not sure if it's a tattoo or maybe a birthmark or something. It makes her leg look a little weird. I assume this is a woman standing here, but I'm not totally sure. She's holding the couple who I think was murdered at gunpoint. And, but this is a solid way to show a flashback in black and white. Sort of a classic way. This shot's slightly better. It's kind of the same shot, so it probably, the first act starts out with the first murder, and they don't know where the woman is, and then it cuts to the couple who is now taking in a third to be in a relationship with them. Now, Destiny here is probably the best actress out of the cast. The other cast, they're a little stiff. She's okay. I don't know what real fluffy means. Is that her name? I guess I'll assume she's a singer. So basically in the first act, they had a three-way, and now they talk this girl into being in a relationship with them, living in their house. She needs money. She needs to get on her feet. Now she's going to live with them and have sex with them. And they get some graphic sex scenes going, as graphic as you can get on YouTube. And then at first everything's great. They're having tons of sex. Everything's awesome. And then it starts to get weird. The girl asks the guy to have sex with her while the woman's not home, but that's against their rules. But then later she has sex with the wife when he's not home, And then the wife's like, don't tell him. And then this eventually leads to a confrontation, which leads to murder. Now, I suspect the twist is the wife is the murderer, not the girlfriend. Like you think it's going to be the girlfriend because she's the new one in the relationship, but I think it's really the wife because she seems the more unstable of the two women, and that she was actually in another throuple relationship secretly and killed the other couple to keep them quiet for the husband. Because here she has a scene with a knife, and then somebody's getting a shower. I think it's her. So I guess that's the big revelation, that she's really the murderer and not the girlfriend. I guess she kills the man, maybe, and then tries to kill the real Fluffy, and then, I don't know, Fluffy turns the tables, or maybe the man survives and turns the tables on her. I don't know. It doesn't really work for me. It's not a bad premise. But if you're going to make this a thriller, and I rarely say this, but you need more shadows, because that is sort of a visual hallmark of thrillers. You have a lot of contrasty colors, right? You need some intense music. There's really, I don't think there's any music on this thing. No, I don't think there's any music on this thing. Probably could have used some just sort of basic B thriller music, stuff getting intense kind of music. Scenes of reactions, some more emotions. Now, that all being said, it'll probably do okay for low budget. It's got some pretty sexual scenes in it. I think that'll be attractive to people who want to see the movie. But you know, it needs a little something. It's not bad for an attempt. But it also needs better delivery from the actors. They're a little stiff in a lot of the scenes. The wife's okay, but the rest of the cast is a little too stiff. They need to deliver the lines like somebody's trying to kill them, or there's an intensity that they're really in love. I'm not really getting that. But let's read the write-out. A young couple's experiment in intimacy spirals into a nightmare when they invite a seductive stranger into their home. Little do they know she's a killer on the loose. Okay, I guess she is the killer. And their lives hang by a thread. So maybe she pushes the wife into killing the husband and then kills her? And then eventually the cops catch up to her? I don't know. But you could check out more at Maverick Studios. Oh, it looks like it already went to Prime. So there's a lot of people. They're making movies and they're putting them right on Amazon. Oh, yeah. There you go. You can rent it for $2.99 or buy it for $9.99. So there you go. You know, I think what you need in something like this, first off, obviously I think this is rated R. I mean, this is an adult situation. I can't think of a more adult situation than this. But I think maybe next time, get some music going, get some sort of soundtrack stuff. If you're going to use people with a lot of tattoos, I think maybe you ought to think about covering up the tattoos with makeup, just because they're kind of a distraction. I find them a distraction. It's just me. Especially if you can't see them clearly. You're like, what's that? What's that? And then you're missing dialogue. Yeah, see, like that, to me, I kind of get it. She has tattoos, whatever. It doesn't look good on camera. You know, maybe just have her wear different clothes. See, everybody's got tattoos these days. Um, but in terms of the cast delivery, you need, you need some really intense delivery. Like the cops, even the cops are just sort of standing there saying their lines. They need to be a little more intense. You need some close ups, maybe to break it up, not just this kind of close up. She might want to take her glasses off during sex. I'm just saying. Just saying, that gets in the way. Um, but, oh my. And again, very distracting tattoos, I'd say. But beyond that, it's a nice attempt. They're trying to do something different. A three-way relationship is already very complicated, and it can go downhill super quick, I imagine, because I wouldn't consider it a real relationship. And inviting a stranger into your home is probably always a bad idea, especially if she starts splitting you two up, which inevitably is going to happen. Somebody wants attention when somebody else doesn't want to give it to them, and then the jealousy starts. So I think you could play on that a little more. These shots are okay, but they're not great. I think you need some more close-ups. I think you need, again, more lighting. One of the tricks is you do a two-shot like this, and then you shoot the whole scene, and then you do some close-ups, and then you shoot the whole scene again. You just move the camera a little, zoom in on her face, and then shoot the entire scene, and then you just, hopefully the actress says their lines exactly the same, and then it'll cut nice and easy. I think that would help improve things. Yeah, it's a little bit, this background kind of okay, but kind of distracting at the same time. You got, see, like this right above his head, that's got to go. That's absolutely got to go. The painting's fine. The painting you can do. But whatever this is, I don't know, it looks like a fire drill thing, maybe. You just got to cover it somehow with something, anything that looks like something. I think it's on a door, so that's going to be... No, that looks like a pipe, maybe? I don't know. Maybe you cover it up with a clock or a plant. But, yeah. But for, a low-budget thing, it's not bad. It's got a lot going for it. The sexy girls, that will help sell this. This scene I didn't find very intense. So, she was probably the best actor out of everybody, but this scene, yeah, it needs to have something else. The shot itself, and I'm not sure what this is. This could be a fantasy shot for all we know. But yeah, it's not scaring me. It's just kind of awkward. But that all being said, I think this could do pretty well for young filmmakers. I think people will watch it, because there's a lot of sexy girls in it doing sexy things. And the premise is solid enough. Maybe just turn up the acting a little bit, One way to maybe turn up your acting is to get some improvers. They're usually, especially for the smaller roles, if you can't even get them for the lead roles, improvers will have, they're quick on their feet. They may not be consistent in every take because they'll tend to just wing it. But their energy is what you need. Yeah, you need that feel of spontaneity when somebody says a line. And I think that's what's mainly missing from this. If you had that, I think you'd really have something here. But good luck with the movie, fellas. I hope it does well. Again, you can check it out on Prime. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the green site, the orange site, and the black site for more videos. Check me out at the Addison in the Lindsay on Wednesday at 1 p.m. for How to Hunt the Jersey Devil. Remember, if you're not a resident or a relative, you should call ahead to see if you can come in. Check me out on Saturday at Cape Con from 10 to 4 and Ocean City Con on Sunday, also from 10 to 4. We'll see you tomorrow.